Yeah, thanks, Joe. Rolling down the hall in Studio B, where live sessions on WNCW are made possible by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, and it is live from Studio B, Steep Canyon Rangers. The song's called Tell the Ones I Love. It's the title track of a CD, which is been out about 3 hours now, 4 hours?
Yeah, I don't know when they started. Maybe from Sunrise. I'm not sure when they started, but today is
Today's
the day.
the release date.
Yeah.
Wow, and we've been playing it greedily as soon as we got an advance copy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
for playing it.
Feels good.
It's a great record.
Yeah, it's a little different from what we've been doing. We're excited about it.
Yeah. But you tell me about it. What's different this time? What's new? What's improved?
Well, we went up to Levon's studio up in Woodstock, New York, because we played the Ramble last year, or year before last, and we got done with the show, and Levon said that no one had ever made a bluegrass record there, and that we ought to think about doing it, and so we did. And so with that came Larry Campbell, the producer, and working with Larry, he's worked with Bob Dylan and all these, you name it, he's worked with him, and he's such a great producer and great musician, and it definitely had an influence on the sound of the record. Really got a live sound up in that barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make a bluegrass record in a place that's never had a bluegrass band record with an engineer, with a producer who's never produced a bluegrass record, it was new territory for all of us, and I think that was exciting.
Larry Campbell to me is like a genius. Everything he touches is just, Graham and I were talking about that, is magic, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, you see him in, we got to see him when we were up there playing with the Ramble with Levon, he's up there and, he's putting together the horn arrangements, for the horn guys, and he's doing vocal arrangements for, the trios and the quartets they're doing. So, I mean, he's got this wide spectrum of knowledge, and he's a bluegrass guy. He has spent time in bluegrass, but, we thought, we've made enough bluegrass records. We've been doing this a long time, that, it was just time for us to just, stretch out. And I think it wasn't like we were necessarily pushing it or anything. It seems just like what naturally evolved, with the songs and kind of where the band was.
Hey, I wonder, when you went in there, did you have a really clear idea of the sound you wanted and you talked to him, or were you letting him, sort of pick out the direction, or...
We knew we kind of wanted to stand around like we are now here on the radio, just kind of in a circle and just play the songs kind of live going down and get a kind of a more live sound and try to capture some of the energy, We think we have a lot of energy on our live shows, and we wanted to kind of bring that to the records. I
think we knew we wanted to have a drummer as well. I mean, we brought our drummer with us from Brevard. Jeff Sipe came up with us to the studio, so we kind of had the idea of where we were heading, but Larry was definitely great at stepping in there from that point and taking it.
So recording with a drummer, that's a new thing for you guys anyhow, right?
I think we've had drums on a track or two over the years, and they were always put on after the fact.
Right.
So it just sounded like somebody glued drums to the song. And this was a thing where we worked the arrangements out around how the drums would fit into the tune. So it seems like they fit in really well.
Yeah.
We know more than one excellent drummer from Brevard. Is this mic okay for talking?
Yeah, you're there.
Great.
We know more than one drummer
There's
from
two
Brevard.
at least, aren't there?
At least two. And just as awesome and excellent is this guy right here, Michael Ashworth, who's now officially the 6th Steep Canyon Ranger. He's playing a box kit here. He might tell you about it later.
Yeah, in a little bit we're gonna start hazing Mike, because I'm gonna ask him who.
We already started that a long time ago.
It's obligatory, man. You walk around with a funny looking box and you're beating on it, and it's a bluegrass band. So, and Jeff Sipe was on the record also, so that's the other.
Great. Yeah, we're lucky to have those guys right there in town.
And Jeff had played a lot with Mike Eugenio and Woody Platten, but he also had a lot of history with Larry Campbell. They worked together in Phil and Friends. So there was a lot of different chemistries going on there that kind of tied into the music.
Yeah, you could always hear Larry saying, "Oh, Jeffrey."
They had inside jokes, huh?
They were buddies.
Well, I was going to say, at one point when we were recording, we were just kind of giving a run through on a song, and he broke into this Tom, mad Tom,
arena rock.
Yeah, or total arena rock thing on it. My banjo kind of exploded right there.
Awesome. So the CD is called "Tell the Ones I Love." I love it, man. But it's definitely. I mean, I don't know if y'all even want to dig into the whole is it bluegrass and blah, 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 but you've put drums on there. But it's more than that. They're just different song structures, different rhythms, different. It's just a whole new layer of songwriting.
We were lucky when we were working with Steve. I guess maybe I have my timeline wrong, but since we've been doing this, we've gotten to work with Peter Asher through the Steve and Edie Brickell, Steve Martin,
Right,
Edie
right.
Brickell record. And, I think just kind of being exposed to people like that with, just a lot of great insight on putting songs together and what's effective and what we do well. And I think that's what Larry did, is he spotted what we do well, or at least what we do best, and kind of zeroed in on that.
There's a distinction, huh? Does it free you up, like songwriting wise? Graham, you did a lot of the writing on here when you're not necessarily locked into certain rhythms, or
Yeah, for sure. And I was just thinking about it the other day, and I'm really looking forward now that we have Mike with us to like writing. You can write songs to different instruments, or if you write a song, you say, "Oh, the mandolin's gonna sound like this." You write a song this way. But just thinking the other day, I was like hearing something that I love the beat on, and I was like, I just want to sit down with Mike and like mess with this beat and see if there's a song we can get out of it. So yeah, I think there's a lot in that.
Well, again, I love the record. Tell the Ones I Love. Well, let me ask you that. Now you're famous and winning Grammys and all this stuff. Is it like more pressure, and does it stay fun and fresh and all that stuff?
I think we've managed to keep it fresh. Obviously by adding drums to our full show every night, and we've added a sound man. We've done a lot of things to make it more consistent and more enjoyable for us. It's not just kind of the battle it used to be every night.
Do you feel pressure though? You won the Grammy. Now what are you gonna do next? And you're putting drums in there. Uh-huh. Like it.
It's all about what you put on your rider to keep it exciting. You got to mix up the veggie trays
Is that
and
okay?
the fruit trays.
Chipotle hummus.
No, it felt really good actually. We went to the Grammys in February when we won, and we went the next week up to the studio to record, and
You
it
were
felt
jacked
like
up.
that is the right thing to do after you win a Grammy, is to like get back to work,
Hmm.
and just try to do it again or beat it or somehow, I don't know, just keep it going. It felt right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it kind of freed us up a little bit even, it's like, okay, we won a Grammy, let's just, go wide open is kind of the
We
feeling
were
that,
riding pretty high
yeah.
in the cloud nine.
I bet you were.
And we did this record in 10 days, which is a long span for us. I think we cut the previous record in 7 days, and the collaboration with Steve Martin we cut in 5 days. So this was we took our time, had just a rented house up there in the Catskills, and it was just awesome every day, driving through the snow to get to the studio, to Levon Helm's barn, and it's a good time.
Yeah, there's a lot of arranging that we did in the studio for this record, which I think with a producer like Larry was vital to it. Rather than coming in and saying, we know, I'm going to play this lick here and then we're going to do like this and this and this. With Larry, it was really a process. For each song, we'd play it through, maybe 15 or 20 times, on the mics or off the mics, and to get it to where we really liked it. And then, we'd hit it, and sometimes first time we turned on to tape on one, we'd have it, but it was a process of getting the songs and really letting Larry have a lot of input.
You mentioned, you keep talking about it has that live sound, but it does. Like there's space between the instruments, and it feels like people in a room. It doesn't feel like some guy in Paris and some guy in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Mailing in parts, but it also feels really like it's dialed in.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
Nice microphones.
A nice microphone. Yeah.
They mic'd like every corner of the barn, like every nook. It's this big multi-gabled barn with lofts and stuff, and they kind of mic'd everything in there and I don't know what they ended up using and not, but they just wanted to get every bit of sound that was coming out in there.
Not to mention there's a huge fireplace, this hearth with a roaring fire going on the whole time we're playing, because it's cold, freezing cold.
Right,
in
in the
Woodstock, New
snow.
York in February. And there's a sleeping dog on the floor.
Right.
Sort of the new recipe.
Yeah, it had a really good feel that way. Larry was standing next to you. He wasn't like behind the glass
Right.
going, you're doing good. He was jumping around or just right beside you, closing his eyes, smiling, nodding along with the song.
Yeah, cool.
And it was just a very intimate experience.
That's what does place affect how you play? Being in that setting, does that subtly flavor the music?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It would me, but
It had
I can't
Levon's
play.
barn has a vibe.
Oh, that's
if
gonna
anywhere
say-
has a vibe.
Yeah, we were using Levon's kit, with,
Were you really?
with the same drum heads that he played on, up until he died. So it just had a vibe. Yeah, he was there, in
Nice.
spirit.
Awesome. So again, the CD is release date is today. The official release date is called "Tell the Ones I Love." By the way, the packaging is gorgeous. Do y'all have any say on that, or is that?
We do. We hooked up with a company that actually Steve Martin introduced us to a company in Dallas that did our last record, and they just did it because they love the music, and it won Album Art of the Year at IBMA. So that was the big one thing
again.
that it won. And so we decided to call him back up, and it's just it's one designer, and he's
David
very
Hummel.
tasteful. He has David Hummel.
Well, it's just described as kind of sepia tone photographs, kind of a collage of you guys in the studio. But then, like on the very cover, is a train, which is a train song we heard to start the whole thing off. And
When we got to thinking, we were like, trains, could anything be more perfect for bluegrass? Like, has that been done? I don't know.
Yeah, that's why it's all kind of shady. You can't really tell what it is.
so I was thinking, driving down here, trains, the train songs are so tied into American music and the culture and all that. And like, we don't really ride trains that much. I don't think anyone gets around on trains anymore, but it still seems to resonate. And I was thinking like acoustic music, everything's electronic now, but here y'all are playing banjos and stuff. And people still kind of want that. I don't know what it is. Thoughts?
There's still a lot of train tracks around.
They're empty, man. There was no trains on them.
So I think maybe it's just we see the tracks and it's like, what's that? Oh, there used to be a train that went through here.
There's definitely trains on them. We just shot a music video for the title track in
Yeah.
Nashville, and while we're on the tracks, here they come.
Oh, man.
And that's loud.
Who almost got hit?
All of us.
We moved aside so the train could come through, and it made for a great shot.
I bet it
It was
did.
actually just reminded me, our first record, the first record I recorded with this group, which is like 6 albums ago, we made at John Prine's studio in Nashville, Tennessee, with Mike Bubb producing. It was at this place called the Butcher Shop, and Butcher Shop Studio. The whole back wall are these toy trains. It's like this huge setup of toy trains, and I guess trains have been a part of our recording experience.
It's a powerful association for people, it still remains that way. And also, you get that rhythm, right? That little shuffle rhythm going, so there it is.
But as Steve says, we only have one train song. We're about 3 train songs short for the record for bluegrass to only have one.
Only one, yeah. Well, you got time. There's always more records. You want to introduce yourselves real quick, and we'll introduce the band, however you do it, and we'll get another song?
I'm Mike Gugino. I play the mandolin.
I'm Woody Platt, play the guitar.
Graham Sharp, play the banjo.
Charles Humphrey III, upright bass.
Nikki Sanders on fiddle.
And this guy over here, Michael Ashworth, is playing the drums.
Should
Or
we
the
haze
box
it now?
kit. It's a box
Yeah, let's
kit.
do it now.
It looks like a cajon, though. Those of us who are sophisticated
He's
will call
sitting
that a
on a
cajon.
cajon.
He's sitting on the cajon, and he's got another box that he's tapping on. I was going to ask Mike. He doesn't know Mike. Y'all fill in. Who are the 10 greatest bluegrass cajon players of all time?
Mike Ashworth.
He's it. I challenge you to name a better one.
J.D. Cajon, Bill Cajon.
Earl Cajon.
The greatest bluegrass cajon player ever, at least in Studio B, right there to my left, Mike Ashford.
That's him.
He got hazed by David Letterman, so he
Yeah.
hazed him
Oh
any
yeah,
worse
that
than
was.
that.
Cool. I saw that too. That was cool. And he didn't have a mic. He can't defend himself.
This is perfect.
Yeah, whenever y'all want to pile on him, just
We
throw
got
out
a tip jar on stage. He's saving up to buy some drums.
Again, Rangers playing live. Let's talk real quick about Mountain Song Festival, because the lineup, I know it's almost sold out both days, close to it. Friday night, Saturday night. 8th annual?
8th annual.
Wow.
That's right.
That festival has kind of grown almost with you all, right? I mean, as you've gotten bigger, so has that. That's a top-notch nationwide festival right now. And Woody, you do a lot of the legwork on that, though. You organize that festival, and
Yeah, I'm part of a 2-person group. John Felty and myself started the festival 8 years ago. It was my mother was president of the Boys and Girls Club at that time, and she suggested to me that why don't we start a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club, and then John called me the next day trying to hire us to play White Squirrel Festival, and so I used that opportunity to talk to him about doing a festival, and we did, and it's been great from the get-go. We had Doc Watson the first year, and Martin and Dennis have been great to be there as MCs. WNCW has been a media sponsor, and we raised $300,000 for the Boys and Girls Club.
that's what I was wondering, 300,000.
Yeah, so we're really proud of that.
Awesome. Well, it's a great festival, too. So that starts off Friday and Saturday. Then we need another song, but it's interesting. after that, you go to the Americana Music Festival. And then a week after that, you go to the IBMA.
Yeah.
It's the two worlds y'all are walking in now, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty wonderful. I mean, I saw the schedule for the AMA, our showcases with Billy Bragg, Roseanne Cash, and the Wood Brothers. Yeah.
man.
And then, the night we're playing at IBMA, it's like right on before us is the String Dusters and the Punch Brothers are there, and like Alison Krauss with Tony Rice and Dale and Jerry Douglas. So, I mean, just to be able to be, straddling that is pretty fine.
Cool.
You're hosting the IBMA Awards.
We are hosting the
Oh, you're
IBMA
hosting.
Awards. The script is in the
gotta-
process of being written, so if you have any...
I was going to say, you got to dress
material,
up
yeah.
and behave yourselves. And anything, like I said, we never saw him, but anything else really big on the horizon? What's huge? Any more Letterman shows? Or
Another big tour of the West Coast with Steve Martin and Edie Brickell.
Okay.
Starts in Seattle on October 2nd.
Yeah.
And we'll be out there on the West Coast for about 10 days, hitting a really big bluegrass festival in San Francisco, the Hardly Strictly Bluegrass
Right
Festival,
on.
which we've played twice, once by ourselves and once with Steve. And so this will be the first time with Steve and Edie, and our first return to my home city of San Francisco in 3 years, so I'm really happy.
nice. Yeah. Well, it is always so much fun to have you guys in here. Just it's great music, always.
Thanks
Gets
for all you
better and
do.
better.
Yeah, thanks for the support.
Absolutely.
Steve Canyon Rangers. Again, this new CD is called Tell the Ones I Love. A lot of spreading the writing out, too, more and more, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the first record we've done of all Rangers material, isn't it? All 12 songs?
I think so.
Yes.
So, gives a little room. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff once again. Steve Canyon Rangers, they are playing live this weekend, Friday night and Saturday at the Mountain Song Festival up in Brevard. And then onward, out into the world and all that stuff. And the record, which is now 5 hours old. So, hey, congratulations again, y'all. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks a lot, Roland.
you so much.
Really
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, live Studio B sessions on WNCW are made possible by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. And we're going to pick up a tune from a guy that actually was on the record we were just talking about, Jeff Sipe. This is some Freedom Jazz.